What's up, chat? What is going on? Are we live? Yes, we're live. So, all right. So, uh, we just get this, and yeah. So, I actually went ahead and separated my file structure into .h files and other files, and I have managed to do that. I just kept some initializations in the main file. If you can see that only I have the ft count for polling initializations over here, and everything else is being handled through other files like so what everything else is being handled through .h files and a separate .c files to implement those functions. And I actually also went on ahead to do an implementation with an hash table. Before I was doing something like let me just show you. I was doing no, not this one. What the hell happened to this? Okay, so before I was doing something with I was just parsing the whole packet in the characters itself, and just not the like it's not fully incorrect way, but it just gets the job done. But I just managed to implement kind of an hash table for this, and where I can have a dynamic set of headers, and they will be implemented based on all of the headers that I have, because I for here I need to define the header first, and then I need to parse its value directly, because I'm currently only taking content type and content length from the headers. But let's say if we want to have all of the headers in our packet or in the memory of our HTTP connection or what HTTP request that we're receiving, then we need to implement some kind of hash table which will help us out, dynamically just handle all of the header parsing. So I went on ahead. It's not fully complete. It is still if I can show you over here. So this is the implementation. So what I did is this is fine. We initialized a start with the buff itself, and then we created the host header. So every header that comes, its header basically we have parsed out the request line itself, which has the protocol, which has the path, and it has the I think the method also. So all these things, the first line is called the request line, and then the headers come. The headers are basically key value pairs, and until we reach the part where we get a line of a space line fully, which is going to be something like slash r slash n slash r slash n. We need to keep looping through the headers and start saving it. So what I did, I've not implemented the loop first. I'm just trying to see if the header that I'm trying to parse gets me the correct value. So I just find the character up till the length of slash r slash n, which is going to be the first space, the line change, and it gives me the characters or the string before the line change, which is going to be the first header itself. And then what I do is I just duplicate it inside of a new character function or array, oh sorry, character variable or array, we can say. And I just subtract the host header part from the character buffer itself, and I also create a new character with header name because I want to fetch out the header name separately. I need to turn it into lowercase. Maybe I will also handle that. I've not handled that into lowercase, and then I want to with a colon I'm going to just give its value. So that is going to be a kind of a very rough use case for hash table. I'm going to improve it later on, but I'm just trying to see how it works, how it's going to work out, how if the test cases that are actually coming are going to run on this implementation or not. So moving forward, we just loop through the f header, which is going to be the part, which is going to be the whole first header part, and we just loop through each character from it, and then if you reach the character, check the value before that. It should not be a white space. So this is kind of a validation in the headers, that the header part, like if it's a header like something like host 127.0.0.1, it should have no space between the colon and the host. So I had to do something to check that if we reach the colon part, like if we reach the character of the colon, the first colon, then we need to check that the item before that colon needs doesn't have to be a white space. So what we do is we just check if f header I minus 1 equals, so if we reach the colon, we check if f header I minus 1 is a white space. That means the space was found, and we're going to return -1. We're going to return an error later on, and we just break out of the loop. We just return the -1. I think -1 is fine. It's going to just return for us. That would be it. And yeah, if you don't, we just break out of the loop because we have already received till the colon. And we, for value itself, I don't go over this loop. I check with this. I fetch out the header value because I am now working on the f header itself, and I need to see that the colon and the space after it, I want the characters, I want to find the characters like colon and space afterwards, right? The after character. I think this is so the current problem is that I am trying to find what str does. It just gives me the characters before this, I think, and maybe that is causing the issue that we're having. So what happens is, I'm just going to show uh, it's going to be gcc, yes, and it's going to be curl, something like this. So what's happening is that setting the value for header name, we're appending the value for host, we're appending the value host. We don't need the colon, so we need to skip the colon part, but for now I'm just giving it that also. And then printing one character before the colon, and we can see that it's printing the character t. If it's a white space, it's going to give me an error. I have checked for that, and now I see the header key. The header key itself is over here. It's going to be the header name. So the problem what's happening is that over here I'm trying to assign the header name I with the values like host, like this, but for some reason if I print it out afterwards, it's giving me host colon and no spaces, http, and the whole payload that we have received, the whole request. So this is kind of messing it up in my part, and what I need to do is now, because if I try to find the value after this, I'm not sure what I'm getting in the uh, header value after finding. Let's just print it out, right? So I'm just going to check header value. And if I can see the header name, header value, where header name that has been set. No, I don't need this. The end out header value after finding. So yeah, header value is fine, we're getting the characters after it, but I think I'm also printing the header value, which is okay. So I just remove the end part from the header value. I just loop through it and remove the end part from the header value. But header name is giving me a problem over here. Header name, it's coming like this. The header value that is set, it's coming like this. The header value part is okay, but the header name is kind of messing my shit up. So I need to see what the problem is. uh, I think maybe it has to do something with the character buff, or I'm not sure, but we're going to look into this and see what could be the problem. And yeah, so hmm so let's just start. Maybe I need that. Bindu, removing the end part from over here, F header. I think. Oh, okay. So no. It's not a block problem. We're within the scope. That's not. That's fine. We're not trying to. Header key. What? Even though I'm not trying to initialize it anywhere, it still gives me header key. I'm not trying to set the value. It still gives me post HTTP. It gives me the whole request for some reason. For some reason, let me just try this. How is this possible? Header name. Dude, what? If I don't initialize it, like if I keep it something like this, I think this has to do something with okay, let's try it now. It gives segmentation fault because I think we have we may have reached an additional index in this. So if I do something like this, should not give me a segmentation fault, but still gives me a segmentation fault. uh, edge setting the value for header name h. So there is one problem. I can check character initialization causes issues in C. I don't know. Hmm. Can you put characters uh, I think we'll need to use maybe something like malak over here, and it's going to be size of, I don't know what's going to be the size. It's the size of what, host header I think. And now maybe we can do, right? Yeah, so that seems to solve our problem. But I want to understand why it doesn't generally works. Like I used malloc to do it, it works. I think it's because if I create something like a character and don't assign it kind of a dynamic or keep memory, I cannot dynamically assign it uh, I cannot dynamically assign its elements because I have not initialized the character itself. So maybe doing something like 10, and but it's not going to, and I don't know. And yeah, but the problem is that we don't know the size of that, right? So we have to actually initialize it on the size itself. So I did something like size of host header multiplied by 2. So if you do something like this, it works. This also works. So the problem seems to have been with not giving it a size, not giving array the size, not giving character the size itself, and I'm then trying to tap into that memory which is not even there. So it just gives me some kind of garbage value, some strange behavior. I'm going to see why it gives me that. So if I do something like this, and hmm. So if I try to do something, um, Seems okay, but is this the correct way to do this? And seems okay. We have the user agent next content land content type, and okay, I can have all of this logic inside of a while loop, which is going to keep on going until buff. No, but does this seem correct? Wait. So yeah, let's see. User agent. Am I printing the bug that is coming to us? Bug that is coming to us, okay. So I am having the buff that is coming to us, and the buff that is coming to us is okay, this at this particular time I need to do one more iteration, see where the buff stands. Stack smashing detected. I probably yeah, I know. I want to actually keep looping until I find the slash r slash n slash r slash n, which is going to be a full space line. But in order to do that, I need to see, I need to reach at that point. If I keep looping an infinite loop, it just gives me absurd things. Yeah. Yes. I maybe. Yes, kind of. Not. I, I'm not going to call it a full hash table, but somewhat of an hash table. Uh, it's something like this, I think, right? This is basically the hash table itself, and this is the array that is going to hold the hash table, the struct that is going to hold the array for that hash table. I still have to implement the methods for get set and things like that. I know I need to reallocate the memory on this, and there are different more, a lot of optimization I can do, but just a very basic thing that I'm just trying to put the values inside of it and see parse the whole HTTP header first, and then I'm going to bring the optimizations in also. What can I do at this point? I may need to. I can do one thing. Let's comment all of this out. I actually had noise suppression, but I just disabled it because it kind of makes the voice too much crisp. I don't know. Is it that bad? Let me see. What about now? I can probably make it a little bit more better. Yeah. Okay, so let's just see printing the buff out. Make sure we have skipped headers itself. And I'm just going to check. Sorry. What buff force for us? So I think I'll have to skip a lot of part for this. That's form URL encoded, which is around over here, right? So think 20 more. So now I have able to do. Okay, 131. I just get done with the spaces and everything. Uh, Compiler warnings on. I'm not sure. I just do something like this if I want to check. Uh, like I just use the compile mode, something like, and it just gives me things like this. It gives me the line and itself also. You add dash wall w extra to the GCC arguments, something like this, right? Dash w. Okay. This is nice. This is nice. Hmm. I didn't know this. This is nice. Let's just see 128, something like, yeah, I agree. This is useful. Okay, so I can do something strcmp and I can check with str. I think if I just rc pair two strings, constant character one is not taken into account for a okay. Inside the condition of if, okay, if I do, still goes inside if I do, not comparing correctly. We're not going inside the if condition anymore. I think we had to put it equals to 0 over here, and now puff is standing. What is being sent in the body? How do we stop before the body itself? I think we can only do that when we reach the new line white space, which is defined by slash r slash n or not. Let's see. What does it tell us? Is there any hint for us over here? I think we need to do. Mm, let's do one thing. Um, so if I can verify this, if I try to send the end of the header itself, and then it's going to process. So I can maybe do uh, server.c, and I can do something similar to where am I sending the data over here. Instead of just sending it this, I can do something like but this is not going to check because I need this /r/n also. I have to find something else. I already have a body somewhere lying around over the body, right? The one. We can use this, and we can definitely do uh, and not over here, but right, tells us something like this. And standard this. And yeah. Okay. So, Baba, let's make sure we have skipped the headers itself. Sure, I can do. Uh, shouldn't this be just running and running? Okay. Now I think we can. Okay. Content length. Oh, sorry. Don't give me this. Give me this line. And I definitely don't need this line, right? Just need to have these three things, and we're good to go. So the buff that is coming to us, content length 5, we get the buff content length 5, and then we get the is coming to. I don't need this. I can printing the host header. I think we can have something like right. Will give us one more edge case. So let's say if we have the content type, the header name, no, host header, we're printing content type, content length. How the hell is host header coming? Both of the times it's coming param1 value. Why is that? I need to find till /r/n and check if the next line has some data to it. If it doesn't, then that means that we have reached the body. It is the end of the headers. If we have, that means that it's the start of the next header, right? But for that to happen, I need to get the host header, right? First. The header name that has been set. Let me just remove everything else. Okay, printing the host header, and it gives the content length just right after. And then it gives this part an empty space, which is what we want, which is correct. Okay, so at we reach the empty space. Now let me just see if host header, okay, strcmp host header. Hmm, hmm. Check if the host header has something like /r/n. Sorry. Uh, no, this is not going to work. I need to find if there is something like this. Let's see. Aha. So we finally have it. And at that point where we had the gap, where we had the end of the body, before, if you can see, the buffer is at that point. Okay, we have the content type and the content length, and then there is a space and a param value. At this particular time, this didn't give us anything, right? And at this time, when we reached the end of the body, it gave us something. So this is going to be our break from the loop. And I think I'm going to just do something like, I'm going to print this. What is the errors in printing out? There is a lot of confusion. The code is not reaching over here, I think. Is it? Why? Out of the loop. Okay. It prints us out. We get the buffer, current, content type. We get the start of the loop, content length, param value. What is the start? And then we get another. We don't get the start error CMP printing us out, and this is fine. So we get the start of the loop when we reach the content length part, right? And seems to be very, very, very confusing. I have to check this function. So we're looping through, we're finding the part where we have a space like a new line, and the body is starting, and what we want to do is when we achieve at that point, so I need to go through the code itself. Move this, I guess. So we loop through, we find the part where we find host header and a new line, and we then check if the host header is present. If the host header is present, that means we need to start with our loop. Then we see if this is the last header file for us, right? If this is the last header, that means that we need to uh, kind of check, sorry, we need to perform a check over here that if it is the last header, if it is the last header, that means that it's going to have a slash r slash n and then again slash r slash n. which brings us to the case that it's going to be a new line. And if it's not a new line, then we need to process with it. If it's a new line, then we need to break out of the loop. We need to make the check true, so that the next time the while loop comes and check its condition, or verify it from here, it just stops the loop. And yeah, so we just move forward with assigning the host itself, and yeah, everything else should be done regardless of the loop coming, like that. uh what is the address AMP printing episode? Start of the loop. Set a name that has been set and its value. Start of the loop. Nah, our condition is not working correctly. Content length 5. Okay. Okay. I should probably I loop through. I Okay, let's come back. Gonna take a short break and we're gonna come back and continue this. And till then, see you guys soon.